1.5 million years ago, early human ancestors like Homo erectus survived in pitch darkness, completely exposed to predators and freezing temperatures. They lacked natural armor, thick fur, and heavy claws. When lightning struck near places like Wonderwork Cave in South Africa, setting dry brush ablaze, they witnessed a massive release of energy that their biology could not produce on its own. Over thousands of years, early hominids transitioned from fleeing these natural wildfires to observing them. They learned that by capturing a burning branch and continuously feeding it fuel, they could keep the heat and light alive on demand. Applying this controlled heat to meat and tough plants essentially acted as a pre-digestion system. Cooking killed pathogens and unlocked massive amounts of stored calories. Because the body no longer had to expend dense amounts of internal energy breaking down raw food, the human digestive tract shrank, routing that surplus energy straight to the brain, which rapidly expanded in size. By mastering fire, humanity bypassed biological limits. Rather than waiting millions of years to evolve a specialized stomach or a thick winter coat, early humans successfully outsourced their digestion and bodily warmth to an external tool. With a larger brain, early humans developed complex language and culture, sharing ideas around the hearth. But the biological brain has a strict capacity limit. A spoken memory degrades with every retelling, making it impossible to permanently store or flawlessly transmit dense information to the next generation. Around 3100 BCE, cities in Mesopotamia, modern-day Iraq, grew so large that merchants and administrators could no longer keep their inventories in their heads. The Sumerians responded by taking a stylus to wet clay, developing a system called cuneiform to explicitly track grain harvests, trade routes, and taxes. On this ancient clay tablet, Sumerians arranged early pictographs in rigid grids to record explicit quantities of goods. Over centuries, these grids expanded to convey abstract ideas, allowing societies to physically document complex legal systems and religious texts without relying on human recall. Writing allowed human consciousness to cheat the limits of biological lifespan. By capturing thoughts in a physical medium, humanity built its first external hard drive. We outsourced our collective memory, ensuring that subsequent generations could build upon exact preserved data, rather than starting over from zero. Around the exact same time writing appeared, another mechanical concept took hold in Mesopotamia. Initially, heavy wooden discs were used as stationary platforms for throwing pottery. Soon after, these solid discs were mounted vertically to axles on carts. By 2000 BCE, they evolved into spoked wheels on chariots, enabling the rapid transport of heavy crops and materials over vast distances. As civilizations expanded, they required tougher implements. Early metallurgists discovered that by melting soft, easily degraded copper and combining it with hard tin, they could forge a durable artificial alloy. This material, bronze, immediately accelerated surplus farming and the arming of organized militaries. When supply chains eventually faltered and access to tin collapsed, civilizations were forced to adapt. They turned to iron ore, which was abundant but demanded significantly higher smelting temperatures. By mastering this intense heat, they developed steel, a material superior in strength that laid the physical infrastructure for global empires. These empires required a network to sustain them. In 130 BCE, the Han Dynasty formally opened routes stretching from China across Central Asia to the Mediterranean. This network, the Silk Road, operated as a massive circulatory system, exchanging silk, paper, gunpowder, and religion across deserts and seas. The fusion of metal alloys outsourced human brute strength to durable tools. When combined with the wheel and intercontinental trade routes, humanity effectively conquered geographic isolation, linking disparate societies into a shared economy. The continuous flow of papermaking and ancient texts along the Silk Road eventually reached Europe, feeding directly into the 14th century Renaissance. Rediscovered classical knowledge met new artistic and intellectual rigor, setting the stage for a complete reevaluation of the natural world. By the 16th century, thinkers like Copernicus, Galileo, and Newton discarded traditional religious authority in favor of empirical observation. Using tools like the telescope and the framework of the scientific method, they mapped the exact laws of planetary motion and universal gravitation. In the late 18th century, Britain applied these mathematical principles to physical labor. Innovators like James Watt refined the steam engine, burning coal to boil water and drive heavy machinery. This mechanization centralized production into factories, mass-producing textiles and shifting the global economy away from agriculture. Following the mastery of steam, the 19th century brought the ability to control invisible forces. Scientists like Michael Faraday discovered electromagnetic induction, paving the way for generators that could project electrical power over long distances. This invisible power reached the consumer when inventors like Thomas Edison developed practical light bulbs and direct current systems. Artificial illumination flooded homes and factories, allowing human activity to completely ignore the setting sun. While extending our productive hours drove immense economic growth, overpowering the night with constant artificial light severely disrupted our natural circadian rhythms. To recover in an electrified world, we often have to engineer our own darkness. That's where Manta Sleep, the sponsor of today's video, comes in. Their premium sleep masks provide 100% blackout and adjust perfectly to your face, helping you fall asleep faster and stay asleep longer. If you need total darkness to recharge, use the code JD at checkout for an extra 10% off at mantasleep.com. With factories churning out mass goods and electricity powering the night, the scientific and industrial revolutions marked the definitive transition. We moved away from an economy limited by muscle and daylight, firmly establishing a continuously running, machine-based civilization. As machines conquered the ground, attention turned to the sky. Throughout the 19th century, pioneers like George Cayley began to identify the exact physical principles required to achieve flight, isolating the specific forces of lift, thrust, and drag. Building on these aerodynamic principles, Orville and Wilbur Wright conducted years of rigorous experimentation, testing wing shapes and lightweight engines until December 17, 1903, when they successfully completed the first powered flight in North Carolina. Looking at the Wright Flyer, their specific breakthrough was a unique three-axis control system. By using wires to warp the wings and maneuver the rudder, they gave the pilot the ability to actively steer and stabilize the aircraft mid-flight. Aviation scaled up rapidly through World War I, and by the 1920s, commercial flight took shape. Trailblazers like Charles Lindbergh and Amelia Earhart completed solo transatlantic routes, proving that long-haul transcontinental flights were safe and viable. Mastering the air erased the final physical barrier of distance. A journey across the globe that once required months of dangerous maritime navigation was compressed down to a matter of hours. With the physical world mapped and connected, the next frontier was logic itself. In the 1930s, mathematician Alan Turing developed a theoretical framework for a machine that didn't just crunch fixed gears, but could be programmed with distinct instructions to solve variable problems. To execute these calculations, machines like the ENIAC were constructed during the 1940s. They relied on thousands of vacuum tubes and occupied entire rooms, requiring operators to physically plug and unplug cables just to process basic mathematical equations. In 1947, the invention of the transistor replaced fragile vacuum tubes, rapidly shrinking the physical footprint of computing while multiplying its speed. This dense processing power allowed us to calculate precise orbital trajectories, culminating in 1957 when the Soviet Union launched Sputnik 1, the first artificial satellite, into orbit. The space age accelerated, driving rocketry and telecommunications to their absolute limits. In 1969, fueled by these massive leaps in digital computation and orbital mechanics, the Apollo 11 mission placed humans on the surface of the moon. Back on Earth, the infrastructure to link those computers together evolved. Researchers established standardized data protocols, and in 1989, Tim Berners-Lee introduced the World Wide Web, a system of hyperlinks that opened up digital networks to the general public. The internet connected every personal computer into a continuous global loop. We fully outsourced our communication and our search for information to servers, networking billions of individual minds into a single real-time digital organism. As computers processed more data, researchers pushed toward the ultimate goal, artificial intelligence. The objective was to build a system that didn't just follow explicit instructions, but could recognize patterns, reason through problems, and learn autonomously. A major threshold was crossed in 1997 when IBM's Deep Blue analyzed millions of potential moves to defeat world chess champion Garry Kasparov, proving that a machine could outmaneuver the height of human strategic thinking. Today, immense computing power and massive datasets feed advanced neural networks. These complex algorithms are actively mapping protein structures for medicine, optimizing urban infrastructure, and executing deep scientific research far faster than a human team ever could. Artificial intelligence represents the final evolutionary leap. From the moment early humans outsourced their digestion to a campfire, every technological milestone has been a step toward offloading our physical and mental limits. AI is now outsourcing human cognition itself. 1.5 million years of momentum has been driving us toward a horizon where automated systems manage the heavy lifting of civilization, leaving humanity free to simply exist, unburdened by the absolute necessity of labor. We are closing the loop on a journey that began in total darkness. The tools have changed, but the objective remains exactly as it was when that dry brush first sparked.
Did mastering fire help early humans survive, cook food, and expand into new environment? So please guys answer my question. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye and take care. And this question is little very easy and very simple. So answer this my question. And first of all, thank you so much for watching this video. So goodbye and take care guys.